check. You gotta have a B minus or higher in here to be recommended for AP Calc. Every now and then there's an exception, but even if you have that B minus or even a mid B, sometimes I've seen kids go, and that doesn't mean you necessarily should take it. I've seen kids with those grades go into Calc and really struggle for that. But I will, even if I recommend you for it, it doesn't mean you have to take it. Like, you can still take the CCP. I will recommend you for the higher one that you qualify for. So as long as you got a B minus or higher, that's what I want to recommend you for. Whether you want to take that or not, that's kind of up to you, depending, like I said, on your major, on your situation. But that's where we'll go with that. All right, for the exact values, anytime you see that, no decimals, keep things in terms of radical. Since we got 30 and 60 and 45, you need to know what those triangles are, how to create those triangles. So I don't want you to memorize what sine of 30 is, although you will probably have that memorized before too long. I want you to be able to develop it. So we have to know the 30, 60, 90 triangle. And the way we create it, we use an equilateral with length side 2. Well, when we cut it in half, that cut this back, the bottom, into 1, and we use Pythagorean theorem to get square root of 3. So as long as you got that, you should be able to get any of these that have the 30 degrees. So sine of 30 degrees is opposite over hypotenuse, 1/2. Tangent is 60 degrees. We'll go to 60 degrees, opposite over adjacent, square root of 3 over 1. Secant is 60 degrees is hypotenuse, here's 60, over adjacent. So it's 2 over 1, which obviously is just 2. Cotangent of 30, okay, adjacent over opposite. So it's square root of 3 over 1. Now for your 45s, the figure we used had 1, 1, and then this became square root of 2. And so cosine of 45 is adjacent over hypotenuse, which we reduced to square root of 2 over 2. And cosecant, that's hypotenuse over what? Opposite, right? Hypotenuse over opposite, so square root of 2 over 1, square root of 2. So and as we get into the unit circle, which will be the next section, okay, we'll use all of these again. Okay, just kind of deal with those. Homework-wise, okay, here's some even answers. Double check those. We'll go over a couple here. Number 5 is false. You need to figure out why it's false. I mean, Lane's got it, but that doesn't mean everybody else got it. Okay. Footmark. Let's count on it. Count on it, Jacob. Count on it for that one. Make sure these are simplified. Make sure these are reduced. So what do we get? 144 minus 16. I believe this is the square root of 128, which should reduce to 8 square root of 2. Okay, so you want to use 8 square root of 2 in your ratios, and then simplify from there. Now, number 5, it says, if I remember right, if the tangent of theta equals 2/5, then the side across from the angle is always equal to 2, right? I think that's what it says. The tangent of theta is 2/5, and the side across from the angle is always 2. All right, it can be 2, but it doesn't have to be 2, because that is just a ratio that has been reduced. It just has to be, this triangle has to be any triangle that will reduce to 2 over 5. So this could be 4, and that could be 10. Okay, just any multiple of 2, you just multiply both by a number. So I multiply both by 3, 6 over 15. Okay, so it could equal 2, doesn't have to equal 2. 26, that's what you need to have for 26. Okay. All right, now 35. didn't really want to assign that. I kind of forgot about that one because I skipped a little step. We will actually deal with this a little bit later, but we'll go over it since you did it. I want the exact value. They got square root of 3/2 in the back, so if you don't have that, you need to have it. It's cosine of 60 times cosine of 30 plus sine of 60 times sine of 30. All right, keep everything exact value, and just all you're doing is going to multiply those together. All right, cosine of 60. And it says use the table. Well, that's just using, just coming up with the exact value. So if you think it's 60 degrees, what is the cosine of 60? That is going to be 1/2. What's the cosine of 30 degrees? Okay, so you draw the figure. Oh, I think I have it over here. Okay, sine or cosine. What was the next one? Cosine of 30. So cosine of 30 degrees is going to be square root of 3/2. Oops. Square root of 3/2 plus sine of 60 degrees. Okay, so you got to think a 60-degree angle. What's across from that? That's going to be radical 3/2. And what's the sine of 30 degrees? That is 1/2. Okay, multiply those two together. I get square root of 3/4 plus square root of 3/4. Remember your fraction rules. They both have the same denominator. You can add them together and put them both over 4. Well, what's radical 3 plus radical 3? 2 radical 3. And 2 radical 3/4 is square root of 3/2. So that's how we come up with that. And you would do 39 similarly. Maybe like that. Okay. All right, any other questions? All right, get your books open. We're going to go over a couple questions out of your book. Just make sure we're good on those. And just turn to page 540 and read through 64 if you would. Okay, the angle of elevation from a rowboat moored 75 feet from a cliff is 60 degrees. Find the height of the cliff. All of these for this section can be broken down into some type of right triangle. Okay, because this is all right triangle trick. So you just think about it. I got the picture drawn up here. I'm not very artistic, but this is my cliff right here. CLI. And that means this is going to be a right angle here at the bottom. Okay. Angle of elevation is from somebody looking out, locating something up in the sky. It is basically formed with the ground and your line of sight, or basically like if you account for a person being so tall, from their eye level to looking up. So for them, they're in a rowboat, we can essentially just kind of use the ground. What is that angle of elevation, Maggie? What was that?
60 degrees.
60 degrees. And it is moored 75 feet from the cliff, which means it is like anchored. And we want to know the height of the cliff. Okay, we want to know the height of the cliff for that one. So you set up everything you know. Now, in the book, if you look in the back, I think it probably gives you the exact answer because anytime they use 30 or 60 or 45, you can use the exact value. I'm not as concerned with that. You can use the decimal for this. But you just got to set this up. X is opposite. 75 is adjacent, so tangent of 60 equals X opposite over 75. Once you got it set up, you can solve for that, which means I'm going to cross multiply, which means I just take X times 1, which is X. And then I take 75 times tangent of 60. And so X equals. All right, Nathan, to try out your new mode. Let's see if it works.
I think it did. 129.9.
So 75 times tangent of 60. 129.9. There we go. So you got 129.9 feet would be the height of the cliff. Okay, for that. All right, take a look at number 70. Okay, see if you can draw it out. See if you can create the situation.
So let me just check that.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Do you like my helicopter?
It's not as good as my helicopter. See, those are my helicopter. My helicopter's better.
Yeah, but let me see you draw a helicopter. Yeah.
All right. There's always mistakes on angle depression. So just be careful here. So make sure you have it. The angle of depression is from the line of sight as they're looking out to looking down. So it is 13 degrees. It is actually that angle right there. Okay? So I just want to make sure I go over a couple of these because a lot of times you use, by habit, want to put it in that top left-hand corner. Okay? You can figure out what that angle is, okay, by doing 90 minus, but you really need to draw this horizontal line. That line will be parallel to the ground, okay, for this situation. So what you can do is, since the line of sight is parallel to the ground, you can use good old geometry and use alternate interior angles, and that will make this angle down here at the bottom right 13 degrees. Okay. Now you can also figure out this angle here, which is 90 minus 13, which would be 77, and it doesn't matter. And there's my right angle. So you got to think about this. See if I can. Oh, there he is, looking down. Okay, so the line of sight right there, that is your angle of depression. Okay, it is not that angle that is part of the triangle, because that'll give you the wrong answer. All right, now I forget, we got a depot station, and what else we got? Mortar station, or the depot is the angle of depression. All right, the mortar station is right here. This is what he's directly above. Whoa. Oops. So right here's your mortar station, and here's what the enemy depot. And we want to find the distance between those. So that's going to be X. And how high is it? 3,000? So it's 3,000 feet high. It doesn't matter whether you use a 77 or 13. I'm going to use the 13. If I use the 13, it's tangent of 13 equals opposite, which is 3,000 over adjacent, which is X. If you choose to use the 77, okay, set that up. It's going to be tangent of 77 equals opposite, which is X, over adjacent, which is 3,000. They will both give us the same answer. Here, I'm just going to do a little bit more different work. X times tangent of 13 equals 3,000. Divide by tangent of 13. And so I get X equals, let's see here, 3,000 divided by tangent of 13, 12,994.4. 12,994.4. All right, if you do it over here, X equals 3,000 times tangent of 77. And so that is going to be, hold on. $3,000 times tangent of 77. Get the same thing. So it doesn't matter which way you set it up. All right, so that's using the angle of depression. All right, go to number 94. See if you can figure out how to do it. See if you can figure out how to do it. All right, if you can't find this correctly, you kind of got to go in two steps. And you take a look at that picture. And I believe it's 12,000 feet in the air, right? And you look down in this angle. So again, angle of depression is 10.4. So make sure, and you got the picture in front of you, which helps. So you got it there. And then angle is 25.6 for the second angle of depression. And they actually tell you what we need to find. We need to find this distance here. But that's not part of a right triangle at this point. How can we find it though? Who's got it? Okay, what you got, Tyler?
So you'll use the angle of depression for the starting one, 10.4.
Okay.
You'll do 12,000 divided by tangent is 10.4, which will give you the total distance from the plane to the building.
All right, hold on. I'm agreeing. So total distance. So basically that distance there, right?
Yep.
Okay. And because if you look at that figure, that's a right triangle. And so we're going to need to find that total distance. And this 12,000, you can either drop the 10.4 down here and use the blue bottom, or you can go here and just move the 12,000 over to here. And so he said, and I'm just going to set it up. Tangent of 10.4 equals opposite, which is 12,000 divided by x. Because you said divide 12,000 by 10 point, tangent 10.4, right? Okay. So you get that. Go ahead and get that value if you don't have it yet. And then, so like he said, we'll take x times tangent 10.4 equals 12,000 divided by tangent of 10.4. And what'd you get for that, Tyler?
65,382.9.
I think I heard you. I think that's what you said. All right, that's 65,000. Well, that's the whole thing. We got to take off of that. Okay, this length right there, which we can use that right triangle. Okay, so you take a whole length minus that piece, and that'll give me that D value. Tyler, how do I set that one up?
Same before, 12,000 divided by tangent, 25.6.
Okay, so you're going to get 12,000 divided by tangent of 25.6, because that's going to equal opposite, which is 12,000. I'll put it over y. And what'd you get for that value?
40,336. That's the wrong value. 25,045.9.
Hold on. 25,000. What was it?
25,045.9.
That's a 0.45.9. All right, now you got to watch, because it asks for the speed. He's done everything right. You got to subtract those two, and then you do get 40,000 for that, but that's not your final answer. What do you still have to do to that? Divided by 2, because it takes 2 minutes to do that. So our D is going to equal x minus y. Okay, and so that is going to equal 65,382.9 minus 25,045.9, and then equals, I'm probably going to mess this up, 3, 4, is it 6 or 7? What is it? 8, or is it 8? What is it? 8, all right. 8. Okay. We agree with that? No, what is it?
I had 33.6.
I did something wrong in my subtracting. 33.6? Now do we agree with it? All right, that's better. Now we got to divide that by 2. And so, Ryan, what's my speed?
20,168 feet per minute.
Okay. All right, we're good with that. Hey, I wanted to hit just a couple, make sure we hit angle of depression for those. I want you to go ahead and get started. I was gonna do number 90. We're gonna skip that. Go ahead and get started on this. I'm gonna be out in the hallway, and we'll call you out individually, go through where your grade is, and then course recommendation. Okay. Indianapolis?
Yep.
Let me see something here. Ooh.